Welcome to Analog Algorhythm. We have Crystal Lariza from Never Come Down. I'll let you introduce yourself, Crystal.
Hi guys, Crystal here, like Dana said, from Never Come Down. Excited to be part of this series and yeah, excited to be playing at the hall again.
I wanted to start us off with a question of the Never Come Down origin story.
Mhm.
I know y'all have had various transitions and musicians.
Yeah.
I've gotten to experience your music for a while now, but I wanted to know, yeah, where did it all begin? How did Never Come Down come to
Oh my
be?
gosh. Yeah, so it's crazy to think this band has almost been a band for like not going on like 9 years now, which is wild, pushing a decade. But yeah, I met Joe, the band leader, back in 2017 because his dad, Robin Suskin, who is this like incredible musician, and he's a pedal steel player, he's a mandolin player, he's a guitarist, but he was playing pedal steel on a former record I was making with me and my sister had a band called Corner for many years in Portland. And the last record we ever made, Robin was on it playing pedal steel. And, in the recording in the studio, I was just like, man, this guy is so kind. He's a really sweet man who's also just like an absolute crusher. And he kind of took me aside after one of the sessions and was like, hey, like, have you ever thought of singing bluegrass music? And I kind of was like, isn't that just like old white guys and banjos? Because I had no idea and I was like very ignorant about the genre. And I mean, it was so funny because he's so kind and he was like, it's not that, but it's like it's other stuff. He's like, you should come check it out. He said, but my son Joe, he plays bluegrass, and I think you'd make a great addition. You've got a hell of a voice, and like, bluegrass is great for singers. And I was like, I'll try anything once. And so Joe and his dad and his pops had this Tuesday night sit in like a residency that they had just like been given from another friend who was moving back to Nashville. And so Joe and his dad had this like duo thing they were doing. They had other bands they were playing in, but it was kind of Joe's show to curate. So Robin introduced me to Joe. We had lunch. I immediately liked him. We immediately were friends. Just like so wild because we fast forward and now we're partners. Wow, weird. But yeah, it was because of his dad. So I met Joe 2017. The band started forming around this single mic at this venue called Little Tiny Bar called the Ranger Station. So our band got really like started taking off from the Ranger Station because we had this like Tuesday night following. And it's really weird because like Tuesday nights to me are like practically religious because my prior band with my sister, we had a Tuesday night residency at Rock Bottom Brewery downtown Portland. So it was like Tuesdays are just like where it's at, music in Portland. And then like literally other just like key things. Caden Hurst, our mandolin player, has been with us since the beginning. At the time, they were living in Portland, but Joe just knew them through a friend. And Joe needed a mandolinist this specific night. And whoever we were like hanging with couldn't make it. And Joe was like, God, I just need somebody. So he gets on the phone and calls up this mutual friend. Our friend Patrick Connell's like the connect. Shout out to Patrick. He's a great steward of music in Portland. And Patrick was like, yeah, you got to call Caden up. And Caden was like literally in the middle of working on like music transcription for something that seemed kind of boring, I guess. And they tell the story. It was like a really boring long night of like music transcription at home. And Joe calls him up at 8:30 and is like, can you be here to the gig by 9? And Caden's like, yep, can do. And that was Caden's first gig with us. And so Caden showed up and it's like, we all didn't know each other. We were just playing music because Joe like gathered everybody. And Lillian Sawyer, who's playing fiddle with us again, has been for the last year and a half. And she's been in like other great bands like Fog Holler, and she has her own project. She, in the early days, was at the Ranger Station. So it was just this like gaggle of like rando players that everybody was so good. But we only knew each other through Tuesdays at first. So that's kind of how we formed.
Oh, I love it. Thank
Yeah.
you. Great.
Yeah.
What a great story. I want to bring it back to when you said uh bluegrass, a bunch of old guys, white guys picking the banjo. So
Yeah.
that wasn't your genre at the time. So what
So,
did you start listening to get inspired by
yeah.
bluegrass? Like what are some albums or what are some
Mm.
really drew you into the music?
I have to be honest, like I really love writing music and I love playing music. I'm really terrible at listening to like staying up on like the beat. Like new and stuff. Really, Kaden should have done this interview to do that stuff. Kaden and Lily, they know what the hell is up. But honestly, but I will say being out in the bluegrass world, and it was really cool because Brian Alley, our former banjo player, he was the one to say, we've got this really great band. We should take it on the road. We should go to Rocky Grass. Kind of like Telluride has the Telluride like band competition. Rocky Grass is like the sister, and they have a band competition. And because of that, my first exposure to like a lot of bluegrass was we went to the Rocky Grass band competition back in 2019, and I met all these musicians. I saw like, Sam Bush and Bela Fleck and all this stuff. And that was like what made an impression on me. I remember like mile 12.
Whiskey, pretty women, they'll be my downfall. They'll beat me and leave me at a love them for all. My clothes are all tore up, my toes sticking out. Gonna drink some corn liquor, I'm going off the spout.
They made an impression. I think Twisted Pine was there.
One year today was a different way from what we're feeling now. Just after 3, you're looking at me when now I'm coming ground, moving out of sight. You'll see it's bound to do it right.
There's so much music that just like boom immediately was like in my sphere because of joining a bluegrass band. And there was a ton of local music like going on. But as far as like bluegrass album bands, and I'm so sorry, bluegrassers, because I'm gonna botch stuff, but like the Tony Rice, Ricky Skaggs album.
No sad, no sad farewells, no tear dimmed eyes. Where
But it's insane. It's so good. I mean, just their voices together, the way they play off each other. It's such a gorgeous record. I mean, that got me in, of course, like, Bill Monroe, Stanley Brothers, Osborne Brothers.
blue moon of Kentucky, keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gone and said goodbye.
Listening to those songs and that music, just especially to like, I'd always been a harmony singer. I'd sung harmony with my sister for many years. So like harmony is just kind of ingrained in me. And then the idea of like the 3-part stack, I was already in like a soul band where we had a 3-part stack with just the female like soul singer backup girls. And so I had a really good understanding of that, but just the naming of the stack, in bluegrass, unlike all the typical choirs, they call it like, you have the tenor part above the lead, you have the baritone below, and if you move that around, you get like high baritone or low tenor. And so I got this education like immediately by being immersed in it and like shoved into it and had to play 3 hours of music every Tuesday. But yeah, I would say that Tony Ricky album was probably the first kind of like, because Joe loves that album. And of course, like I'm hanging out with Joe a lot in the beginning days of the band. And yeah, there's so many incredible albums and artists and like the older generation and newer.
So when you're writing your music, you're mentioning those harmonies, and that's something that definitely
Mm,
really stands out and never come down. But when you're writing your music and you're writing songs,
mhm.
is is that kind of your go-to to start up a song, or what's your process?
Well, we have like several writers who like to write songs with lyrics, and then we have like Lily is such an incredible writer. She writes, instrumental parts, and she has her own record coming out too, which is great. But I'd say the process right now is just like, we've kind of always been a very, very collaborative band in the sense somebody will bring the bones of something, right? Like the bones of a song. Like I might just have a melody and a few words, like a verse, chorus, but I'll need like a couple more verses or something. But we kind of bring an idea, even if it's not fully formed, we'll still kind of present it and just like hang out with it. And what I really like about our band is we've never really told each other what to play, like ever. It's kind of so collaborative and we trust everybody so much. It's like, here's this thing, let me lay it down. And we might try like 4 different flavors of the same song. We might change the groove. We might add a bunch of harmony. We might strip it back and go, okay, just let the lead sing this. I'd say the process is bring the bones, start building some meat on top of the bones. And then honestly, we like play new songs once we have them. We try to play them out really soon, just like live, not record them, but like play them live. We'll be bringing some new stuff to the hall, which will be really cool, some brand new songs. But we try to do that because when you're playing it out in the real time and you're not really, you don't get to think about the arrangement, you're just like giving it your all, things transcend and change and morph on their own. And you'll immediately go, oh, that didn't work. Or I really liked that. We need to keep that in because like the crowd is like such an intelligent part of like how we form the music because the energy that is exchanged there, you can tell pretty easily if like a song is working well or if it's like, we need to go back to the drawing board. So we like to kind of put it out in the world. It's scary because we're also perfectionists. Like our band is really big on arrangement and like knowing what we're doing. But everybody's also such a crusher in our origins. We're at the ranger station where we like literally played with 9 rando people every week and we had to make it work. So I like to take it back to there and go, okay, screw the arrangement. Let's just have fun and like play the bones and see where we what we get.
So when you're looking to get inspired, what
Mhm.
music do you turn to? And we're
Yeah,
talking whatever genre, not no genre.
right. This is the part of the interview where I was really nervous because because like again, I didn't come from bluegrass music.
Well, it doesn't
And
have
there's no totally, and I know it's like so open. And that's another thing too. Like once you're in bluegrass, like there's so many flavors of that and like extreme, headiness and then also like extreme improv and stuff. But I'm gonna keep it truthful. Like I don't, when I go home, especially off a tour, my brain, we're thinking and doing and on so much that I like music that I can literally put on in the background. And sometimes, like, my easy kind of just like duh brain is like, I listen to like Shakira Spanish, like in Spanish radio.
Reading the signs of my body. I'm on tonight, you know my hips don't lie, and I'm starting to feel you, boy. Come on, let's go real slow. Don't you see, baby, I see it's perfect.
I listen to like reggaeton. I listen to like dance music because I just want to like bop around and like get my body moving. And like, I know you love to dance. I love to dance too. So that's like my guilty pleasure, like whatever the hell. But there are artists that I absolutely go back to all the time and like like writers that I like love. And I just want to say one of them's Cat Power. I love Cat Power. Do you know Cat Power, Tina? Yeah, the greatest. That record was like just such an impressionable record for me as a younger person.
Once I wanted to be the greatest, to face society right.
And then there's a really, I'd say, very less known person. You can barely find her online sometimes. I found her on YouTube again, but because I don't know if she's on Spotify anymore, but her name is Pina, Pina. And she used to just go by Pina. Pina Collars is her whole full name. She wrote a record back in like 2000 or 1999. And weird story, it's my favorite record.
Well, this is just a big look in the sky. When you look at me, I see the blue, and you laugh.
Oh my God. Tina, A Quick Look is like my favorite like soul music. Like I go back over and over and over and I think there's so much about young Crystal that is like totally like it was just it seeped it's like the music you love when you're young. I feel like it seeps into your brain, seeps into your subconscious. And then if you become a creative of any sort, but like or expression person who expresses, it comes out in your work. And there are like vocal runs or like this thing I did a lot of folk rock. That was the first thing I kind of started writing as a young person. So that record meant a ton to me. Has nothing to do with bluegrass, has nothing to do with like soul music, but it is like so soulful. And I believe she played like a ton of the instruments on the record. It's just raw. It's like somebody's raw music, and I love that. So those are two women that I go to a lot. But there's many, many more, many more.
Well, I'll have to check it out. I look forward to listening. Another thing I wanted to mention or talk about, because I know that you are a voice coach or,
Mm,
or
hmm
you teach voice lessons, or I would
hmm hmm
love to hear a little bit more, like, share with the world like what your offerings are and what
mm,
inspires you to teach.
hmm
You know,
Hell
yeah.
yeah. Oh, great. Thanks for asking about that. Well, I love to teach. If I can like plug it, I'm in the Gorge at Medhead River. I teach a lot in Portland, but I'd like to teach more in like the place I live. I'm actually working with Moon Mountain Highway right now to do some we're gonna try to make it work this summer coming up soon. So if you're not on our newsletter, you could be on the NCD newsletter. I'll put it in there. But I'm gonna be doing some harmony classes at their shop. But really, I mean, honestly, it goes back to like my voice coach. She's like one of the coolest people ever, and she was a mentor. Her name's Lori Hughes Killen. And then she eventually became a booker and was like, she was in the soul band. She invited me to be this big soul band I was in the early 2012, 2013 era. But she inspired me a ton. And from that, I remember just being like, man, if I can be that mentor woman to somebody else when I get older, a little bit older, she was so hip and cool. I thought she was like the coolest person when I was younger. And she helped me find my voice. And really, I already had a voice. I was already singing when I came to her. And I took voice lessons, like classical trained from 8th grade through junior year. And then I kind of stopped because life moved on. But then she invited me in a band. So she's been just like a lifelong person for me. And so I really wanted to just like, I don't know, also show that like music isn't exclusive. Like I love singing and I can be very athletic and very jockey about it just because I love to PR. I love to like top my last thing and I'm kind of always in competition with myself in a way of like what I'm able to do. But as far as teaching, what I love showing people is like, one, we all have a voice. Like if you say you can't sing, my first question to you is, have you ever had any sort of training? Because if you believe that without having training, I just think that you're doing yourself a disservice. I don't think it's fair. You know, you would never expect to be this like excellent soccer player if you'd never set foot on a field and like kicked a ball around. So first things first is like get people out of that like negative belief system that they can't sing. Start slow. Group classes are great for that. You know, one-on-one can be a lot for some people. Some people don't want to sing with other people. They want to do one-on-one. But the biggest thing is just like sharing our voices. I feel like every generation has, you know, different reasons to become vocal. And I feel like right now, like so many people, just given the climate in the world, it's like singing is something really powerful we can do. It's a place we can go in ourselves to like express and open and connect and share truths. There's a lot of stuff you could say in songs that you might not feel comfortable saying in real life or, you know, using metaphors. So I think it's a great way to express. But yeah, I encourage people to like find any way, any place they can sing. And that's why jams, like jamming in the bluegrass scene, just to like curve it all together. That's why that is so, like I was so drawn to that. The fact that people were singing in these circles, they had never met these people, but because there's a repertoire, because like if you're a guitarist like me, the guitar parts are really simple. If you just want to sit in and play like 3 chords, just the 1, the 4, and the 5, like there's hundreds of songs to learn and know. And then the harmony you can just kind of like stack. So it was very formulaic in a way to like sing with other people and simple. So if people are like, music seems complicated, it's like if you're sitting in a jam and you're just like starting to use your vocal voice or you're starting to use your guitar voice, like a bluegrass jam is a perfect place to start exploring. And I love that about the genre we're in now, that we get to be a part of it so much.
Yeah. So not to put you on the spot, but any
Yeah.
recommendations for like for a beginning singer or a beginning musician that wants to jam? Like, can you name a couple of those songs or
Mm.
song that you can
Oh,
say,
songs? Sure.
yeah, like a song or two that
Yeah.
hey, practice this at home so you can hop in,
Oh,
hop
I
like
mean, yeah, with bluegrass, there's so many. I mean, like things that like our band teaches the song a lot because it's a simple song, but like Takes One to Know One is a really simple song.
It takes one to know one, and I know you. A little tear to your smiles, I see through.
And like again, because it's bluegrass, you can like Google a song and you'll get like all these different versions, and you can just find the one that you dig the most. But generally, the melody is going to be the same throughout them. They might be in different keys, but that's why it's great. And the internet is helpful for that because everybody sings in different keys. You know, everybody, if you have a low voice or a high voice, like go find a version that like fits your voice in the beginning and then try different stuff. There's an Osborne Brothers tune called It's a Lonesome Feeling.
It's a lonesome feeling when you're traveling down a lonesome road, down a lonesome road. Nobody cares a thing about you. It's a heavy load, it's a heavy load.
That's a great song. And then I mean like super, I just think of the ones that come up in jams all the time, like Little Cabin Home on the Hill.
Now someone is taking it from me.
Old Home Place. Yeah, Old Home Place, Little Cabin Home on the Hill. Like those are really, and everybody does like I'll Fly Away.
Some bright morning when this life is over, I'll fly away to that home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away.
Or The Circle Will Be Unbroken. But I will say, like, those two songs are great, but the harmony parts sometimes are just like sometimes they're really easy melodies, meaning they move in a very simple way. And sometimes they're more like spread out and almost church-like or some of the gospel stuff. And it just depends on the song. But I'd say just find the songs that are simple. And I would also recommend, I do this with students, but like find the song that the words actually mean something to you. Like if you don't care about singing about a little cabin home in the hill, like maybe don't sing that song, You can do it. It's a vessel, right, to do music through, but like pick a song you like love the words because that's just gonna come through. Like it's gonna come through whether you're in a jam or on stage. Like I never understand why people kind of force themselves to sing songs they don't really like resonate with the words or they don't dig it. So I'd say find the songs you dig, but that's a few. And like again, Osborne Brothers, Stanley Brothers, those are great artists where very bluegrass, plenty of harmony stacks, plenty of simple songs to learn. That's kind of where I started as far as listening.
Oh, well, I think we'll leave it at that. Oh,
All
Christy,
right.
thank you so much. We are so
Yeah.
excited to have Never Come Down back to the
Yeah.
Trout Lake Hall, June 27th.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate your
Thank
time.
you. Thank you for your time, Dana. You're awesome. Love you guys.
Love you too.
Oh, mother, won't you call me? Won't you call me? Won't you call me before I go? Oh, mother, won't you call me? Won't you call for me and tell me what I should know?